Hello everybody, this is Wolfang. It's Sunday, September 22nd. It's almost 11 o'clock here. So I'm having my morning orange juice instead of a milk bone. Excuse me, a milk bone will come, I might eat one watching the football game. Anyway, I have a few things I want to share. I'm going to first talk about some other types of freeze-dried food that we have. These guys usually run a sale for Patriots. I haven't tried this. I will try it though. Also, I have the Legacy. And then I was going to do this one this morning, but I didn't get up in time. I felt like sleeping in a little bit. But this one is called Patriot Pantry. And this one here, the food I bought with that came with a good sized tote. And this is more than 2 months supply of food. But they've got buttermilk, pancake mix. They've got chocolate pudding. They also have your drink mix, and then it's got soups and stuff like that with it, all kinds of different stuff. But that, I mean, I just don't stick with Mountain House or some of the others. I want to try a variety, see which one we like the best. So, and the other thing is, I did go out, get myself a vape pen. This is a blackberry flavor. It's pretty good. So all those people that vape out there, it's the idiots that are messing that situation up. I don't care what anybody says. These younger people they're tampering with the vaping devices, or they're buying bootleg vaping devices. It's not the frickin' juice. They're being tampered with, or they're poorly made, and they're being used the wrong way. That's all I'm going to say about that. So what I wanted to talk about is I wrote my notes down. 3 locations to avoid during a disaster. A disaster hits, whether it's a hurricane, a tornado, a blizzard, or man-made. Planning and being prepared and have a strategy is your friend. Assessing and determining where to go for safety and shelter and areas to avoid. Because if you've got to bug out, you need to know where you're going first off. But get from point A to point B, what's in between there? And I picked up this information off of My Patriot Supply. Don't get it confused with Patriot Pantry. It's not the same. This is one of the websites. When I'm looking stuff up, I look all over the place. But anyway, this is an article from My Patriot Supply. And they're saying supermarkets they've got marked down as #1. And I think everybody out there knows, especially, it's a big joke here in Cincinnati. Oh, we got a snowstorm coming in, blah, blah, blah. Everybody runs to the grocery store. I mean, everybody. What's the first things? Eggs and bread, milk. Those are the first items that they're going. So that's why, as preppers, we tell each other, stock up. Stockpile your food. I mean, if you're ready for that situation, I'm not going to say any situation because you never know what's going to happen. But if you're prepared the best way you can, you won't be one of those people at the grocery store pulling your hair out trying to figure out what what you need, what you can grab, or even getting into a fight. That was my loaf of bread. That kind of stuff. So try to avoid supermarkets, places like that. The second one that was brought up is bridges and tunnels. Now, if you think about it, especially your hurricane, this last hurricane that came through that was going to hit Florida, they had both highways opened up going out, leaving Florida, and they were packed. Okay, now if it's after a situation and people are trying to get out, you're going to have all kinds of chaos. After a disaster, your infrastructure, your bridges, your tunnels, they're not going to be safe. And they, in this article that I read, they threw in 1989 the earthquake that hit California, and the bridges collapsed on each other, and that's where almost all of the deaths from that earthquake happened, were people being on the bridge. Now, saying that, you don't know when an earthquake's going to hit. Those people had no idea. So I was kind of, when I read that in this article, I was like, well, you don't know when an earthquake's going to hit. At least you got a warning with a blizzard, a hurricane, a tornado, but you have no warning whatsoever with an earthquake. But going on with your bridges and tunnels, stay away from those areas. One, they're not going to be safe. And even if you are an engineer, you're trying to get away from something. You're trying to get to your bug out location. You're not going to stand there and assess the situation of how this bridge looks. There might be somebody out there that does it. I'm not going to. I'm going to stay away from the bridge and stay away from your tunnels. You don't know how many cars are even jam-packed into that tunnel. Another situation is blockades and checkpoints. They'll use bridges and tunnels for blockades and checkpoints. And you're going to have a lot of trouble on that situation. With the checkpoints, there might be people sitting at that checkpoint or the blockade, and you may have a fight break out between a couple people, and next thing you know, you got a full-blown riot on your hand. Just those people in that area. So don't. I mean, if you've got a plan and you know your way around, just avoid the bridges and those tunnels. I always try to think of the worst possible thing that could happen, and if that doesn't happen, you're okay. And then the last one was banks, and I found the banks kind of odd. Yeah, if shit hits the fan for some unknown reason, well, here you go, media. The media puts out there, the stock market's going to crash, and they make a big monster deal out of this, and people start running the bank, pulling their money out. That's going to cause some problems too. After shit hits the fan, you might have some boneheads trying to break into banks. But yeah, I wouldn't. If you can keep cash on hand, a lot of people out there talk about having gold and silver. But how much gold and how much silver? you're adding, I mean, that's weight. I think I would rather have food, water, and whatever else, and barter items. Because gold and silver's got weight to it, just like, are you going to hump a bunch of water? Are you going to hump 10, 15 pounds of gold coins and silver coins? I mean, that adds up. Cash is a little lighter, but how much cash can you carry on you? The other thing that was brought up in the article was the ATMs. In a disaster time, your ATMs, you're better off to go inside and use the ATM. But if you have to, you can use the ATM on the outside because of the cameras and they're well lit. Problem is, if there's no power, you're not using an ATM. Period. Now, like I said, you might have some idiots trying to break into the banks too, and if you got that going on, you don't even want to be near that. I'd just stay away from that. But also, and these were just the main three that was in this article. But you've got others, your prisons. What about your local hospital? If they get overwhelmed, well, some of the nursing homes did with Katrina. I mean, they lost some people because they didn't move the people out, and they lost power. So that just goes along with your planning. Make a plan. Even if you're driving to work, or if you're sitting out on your porch, just look around your neighborhood and notice things. Pay attention to your surrounding, and that's something that I always say. Just pay attention to your surroundings. So I'm gonna get off here. I hope everybody has a groovy Sunday. I'm gonna watch the Bengals lose, and let's see, it's 11:09 here. I don't know what I'm having for lunch. Definitely tastes a lot better than a cigarette. So, everybody out there on YouTube land, blessed be, stay safe. This is Wolf Fang, and I'll see y'all next weekend. Bye.